All right, ladies, today we're going to be demoing our February sketches, and let's talk real quick about the concept for these. For all of the layouts for February, we did a paper layout with our blueprint, and then we did a layout using the gilding polish. So on this one, the pink is going to be our navy paper, and then the yellow, green, and orange is going to be the gilding polish. Colors that we need today are going to be the Indian pink gilding polish. We're going to need the golden flamingo opal polish. We're going to need Sahara Gold Kiss. And then also we're going to need apple fizz. So for this layout, I've done different steps, and you'll see how that kind of goes as we do the video. But for this one, I also was talking last month about if I really would have been thinking, I would have used templates to make patterns on these. So I actually did that on the layout, and you can kind of see here where I've got some of it put together, and it's got the small patterns on there that you can tell I use my templates. So you guys can pick whatever templates you want. I just quickly grabbed a few. But to start, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to use this white sheet of paper to do our different colors that need to be cut into shards. So we're going to start with the apple fizz, and I need about, what this says is I need 1.25 inches, and remember every 1.25 inches by 10 will do 2. So I need 2 sections for this, 1 for this, and then 1 for the yellow. So I'm going to do about a 3-inch section. I kind of do that with each one, and I'll show you the other one as I put it on there. So we're going to cover the paper flat first. With the 3 different colors. The Sahara Gold Kiss, we're not going to be using on this paper. We're going to be using that with water and then dropping it on the page, which is, I'm just obsessed with the glitter polishes and doing that. So that's probably plenty. Just smooth it right out. Doesn't have to be a different or 100% covered, solid. Because from there, we do all 3 colors and we would let this dry. But for the sake of time, I'm going to switch to the second part. So here is my full page done. And I'm just going to quickly show you on this one right here how I use the templates, because I use a flourishy template on the pink. I use the striations on the peach color, and then I just kind of went back and forth on it. And I use the dot on this green apple fizz. So I'm going to pull that one out, load up my sponge, place my template, wipe it all back off. Oops. And on this one, I'm pretty much stamping the whole thing, and then I'll just move my template. Load it up. Okay, so that's what we're looking for right there. Overlap it a little. And if you really want to see your pattern stand out more, don't do this first layer of on the paper. Just go ahead and stamp the section instead so that you see the white. Pick that up and just do this little end right here. And then after I get this one done, I'm just going to let this set up and dry. Takes just a few seconds, few minutes actually for this one, just because it's a little bit thicker than putting it on flat. All right, so we set that to dry. And then after we have that done, we're going to go to our next section of this, which is cutting the pieces to the size the sketch says. So for the green that's on here, it says I need a 10.25, and I did. I need 2 pieces that are 10.25. I know it shows 4, but for every triangle or shard that you do, you get 2 out of that rectangle. So let's set this stuff aside, grab out my trimmer, because I've already cut it to that 10.25. And now I'm going to cut it on the diagonal here. So I'm going to put it on my trimmer, go from edge to edge. Now, depending on how you put this on the trimmer will depend on how it comes out on the page. Don't worry about it. You'll see that mine looks slightly different just because it's impossible to get these the right way each time just because of the angles. So cut that. And then you've got 2 pieces that we're going to use on the actual layout. But before we glue these down in the actual layout, they are lined with 1/4 inch strips. So for every piece you use, you're going to need 2 1/4 inch strips. I like to use my pink adhesive and just quickly put it right along there. Clean off the edges real quick. Now with this, I'm going to start a little bit off the shard and just go straight to it, and that's it. So right off the fat end, and then just like that. So we're going to do my second one, because I need both of these on the layout. And we're going to go right into gluing them down after this. There we go. And I'm just gonna leave these. I actually liked how it looked on this layout, so I changed it up slightly, how they kind of overlap. So now we're gonna put them down. I need 1 here, and then I need 1 right about there, okay? So adhesive on the back of these. Oh, just ran out. Let's grab a different one. I always have extra adhesive at hand, because this is my favorite. Plop it in there, and we're ready to go again. Okay, now I'm gonna go a little bit off the page here, and that's it. I'm gonna do the same thing on this one. Apply my adhesive, and then I'm going to put it right in there. And then on the sketch, you can see where I have a wider piece here, and it's just because the angles of these, it was fatter up at this top, and on my original it was fatter down here. That is no big deal. Every single time you make this layout, it's going to kind of change up just because it's an angle, and it depends on how you put it on your trimmer. So once you've got it down, trim off the excess. And then this is ready to be glued onto your stripe paper. So we've got that all set, and you can see my patterns here, which I'm a little obsessed with this. Grab my background paper. And I'm gonna glue this one down. This gets glued right to the seam. And after I get this down, we're gonna use the Sahara Gold Kiss. Now I put a lot more adhesive than you guys probably need, just because it's a display that's gonna be hanging. So we're going to, let me move that up. Get that glued on like this. And we're gonna go and grab our Sahara Gold. Now, I used probably a size of a dime in here, and then added very little water to it until it was nice and runny. So it would just do these little drops as I touched it, okay? This is a fan brush. It's not something that we've been using. You can use your plastic brush from Tim Holtz, a splatter brush, but I didn't want those long lines that a splatter brush does. What I want was little droplets on this. So then we're gonna do the droplets now, and it's right along in here. It just has a little path that it's gonna follow all the way up. So load up your brush, turn it over, and then real gently tap. And then once that dries, it's super cute. I'm gonna set this aside to dry, and before I finish, I'm gonna show you the flowers that we're doing, since everybody seems to like to have those demos done. So let's set that aside and grab out the flowers. So we have 2 different ones that we're doing today. We have the wood ones, and then we also have the paper flowers that we designed. So for the wood flowers, we're going to be using our pink flamingo. Wait, is it? No, this one is the Indian pink. So it's the brighter of the 2. And you're just gonna cover the tops of them. I'm not really gonna worry about that one right now. What I'm more concerned with is actually showing you the bottom of it. Each one of these flowers has, you know, a center that's cut out. and you're going to glue it to your extra pieces of that Indian pink. So the easiest thing to do here is to put adhesive all over the back, put it down, and I like to be able to handle it. So I'm just gonna cut it a chunk like that. And then just go right underneath and kind of nip away at the extra paper. Nice and fast. You can always remove it or add a piece. And then that's how you're gonna do that, okay? And then you would go over it. You can do this before or after, it doesn't really matter. You can go over it with your Indian pink once you've got them all cut out, okay? That's gonna be it for our wood flowers. And then for our paper flowers, we're going to ink only the edge of the yellow circle, pretty heavy too, all right? And normally I would do my pen first, but I wanna get it glued down just so it's easier for me to show the doodling for you guys. It's a good way to ruin your pen is by doing the inking first. So once I have that on, I'm gonna use a thin end. I'm gonna go around quickly the outer edge, nice and flowy. Okay, so like that. Add some dots in some of my spots for the small side. And then we're gonna do lines on like where the center of each petal would be. So nice lines. We're gonna add our dots. We're gonna go around the edge of this one, adding dots to one side. Use our fat end. Okay, that looks good there. And now I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna use the Flamingo Gold color and I'm gonna do the edges of these flowers with it. So almost like we would use our finger daubers, I'm just gonna go over so that you can see that real pretty iridescent color. And I will be doing the same thing with the leaves too. So let's just do a leaf real fast while that's drying. I'm gonna do around the edges. Oops. Do right up the center, a little veining, and then the dots. Couple for the fat end. And then I also use the apple fizz on the ends of this. Load up your sponge, wipe it all off, and then put it on there. And it gives it that nice little color. Now, before I'm finished, I did use my white paint on this and also the yellow glitter glue on the inside. So we're gonna keep it really heavy to this edge where I did the dotting. Just add the white paint. And then I'm gonna do the same thing with the yellow glitter glue. Now I totally would recommend letting it dry and having it all glued down before I did the white dotting and the yellow glitter glue, just so there's no room for mistakes. But for the sake of the video, I'm just gonna add it in there and then it'll dry flat. All right, ladies, that's gonna be it for the flower video and for our number 6 scrapbook tree layout.